Good evening, everybody. And I'm Meena Shah, an educator with many years of experience and the founder at Starchild Education and Learning. At Starchild, we provide educational material for revision and practice for students from standard 1 to 7 in all subjects. And this is both online and offline. We have also started this. So the Learn with Starchild series, we have various guests who are experts, of course, in various fields of education and who are going to share their knowledge with you so that you can help your child better. So today we are joined by Dr. Anita Sharma. Dr. Anita is a career counselor and an academic strategist. So we are just waiting for Dr. Anita to join in. Oh, I think here she is. A very warm welcome to you, Dr. Anita. Yes, namaste.
Fine.
I have just introduced you and I have told the people that you are an academic strategist and a career counselor, and you have been helping people or other children and parents for almost 28 years now. Is that right?
Yes, 28 years. Since 1994.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a long, long time. So, yes. So I'm sure your expertise is very, very great, and I'm sure you will be able to help parents very well. So, today, my first question to you is, today competitive exams, are playing a huge, huge role in children's careers, right? And you are a career counselor. So I'm sure, of course, that's what you are, So what does, how does, how do I put it? So, if you look at schools, what schools are doing as in school exams, academics, and competitive exams. So how do academic scores or school scores count in, how necessary are they? How expert should the children be in that to do well in a competitive exam?
Yes, Meena ji. As you said, academic scores has always been a pain point for almost all the parents since ages. ये अभी का नया नया नहीं है, it is since ages. But every time the meaning of the scores has always changed. Every time. Or based on that, it was considered to be the criteria to choose a career. Academic scores was only needed कि हमको अच्छी फील्ड में जाना है, हमको ये करियर लेना है, इसलिए इतने मार्क्स आने चाहिए. And it was true at that point of time because the careers were chosen, the admissions were given based on the marks of the boards, of 10th boards, of 12th boards. But to the pandemic and to the changing scenarios and the new education policies, now everything has changed. Meaning now the board exams, so-called board exams, जिसके लिए लोग जमीन आसमान एक करते थे, like they would go to any extent, इतने tuitions, इतना खर्चा करना, बच्चे को बांध करके रख देना, स्पोर्ट्स नहीं करो, खेलो नहीं, ये मत करो, वो मत करो, and anything and everything. Even the दूध वाला will be worried, अरे तुम्हारा बोर्ड एग्जाम है ना, like तुम पढ़ो पढ़ो. It was just like that.
Yes, but indeed.
Now, thanks to the new education policy, the 10th boards and the 12th boards have merely become an eligibility criteria. They no longer serve the purpose of getting admissions because most of the institutes are having their own entrance exams. Thanks to the deemed universities, most of the colleges are becoming their deemed universities. They have their own entrance exams. They conduct their own exams for admissions. And even अगर हमें career के लिए अगर दूसरी fields में भी अगर जाना है तो वहाँ पर भी we have national level exams. Study abroad के लिए जाना है वहाँ पर भी we have competitives to cater to. So anywhere and everywhere we have to give the competitive exams. So now it is high time we wake up to this, that competitive exams is no longer an option now. it is really becoming now a necessity now. Every
Right.
student has to become aware of it, how to solve it, because as you are aware, competitive preparations and board preparations are very, very different ball games.
So
And they
how are
have
they
to be.
different? Yeah, how are they different? If you could explain that, that would be nice.
Sure, I will. Because board exams have always been, essay types, like long questions and then MCQs and then fill-ups and all those things, match the followings, and all those things are taken up in the board exams. Firstly, secondly, it is more based on, okay, understanding is required, but more based on the memory. How much you can retain and then write it on the paper. So it is
Correct.
more of a memory game, understanding, definitely understanding, applying, and then you have to actually write it down again in the prose format. Board exams usually have FAQs. FAQs meaning the frequently asked questions. So the students are aware of like what questions will be asked. Last time ye pucha tha. These are frequently asked. So this is a possibility that this will automatically come. There is marking, there is labeling for each type of question. You know exactly what is the weightage of each topic, what is the weightage of the portion, what is the weightage of this chapter. So you can prepare accordingly. You can either go in depth or you can leave this topic based on the weightage of the topics
Correct.
or the chapters. But
Yes,
what
that is
happens in the,
our times. Yeah.
yes, but what happens in the competitives, you don't have anything which is called a portion. It is this topic. From anywhere, everywhere, it can come. You cannot say this is out of syllabus.
Right.
So, for the competitive exams, there is a committee which is formed, which actually forms, which makes or prepares questions for that particular exam. It is never repeated. In fact, if the questions are repeated, the examiners who have made the papers, they are fined actually. Okay, you have given a asked question. So
Okay, I was not aware.
it is all about, you facing the unknown. Every time the competitive exams, you will always be facing something which is new, something which is fresh, just from the oven, like of the examiner, freshly made for this exam. So you have to be ready to solve new questions every time. You will never get a repetition there. And it is always options. You have to choose the right option. Most of the times, it will also be choose the most correct answer. That is also there. So it is based on so many criteria, like you are grilled thoroughly with that topic, with that portion.
Right.
So it is no longer only a memory or understanding. You have to go much more beyond, which is applying whatever you have understood. How rightly, appropriately and fast you are able to apply whatever you have understood.
Okay.
That is the skill which is needed in competitives.
Right. So again, my question to you is, how soon should children get accustomed to this kind of exams? Today, of course, we have the Olympiad exams and so many others. And the other day I found out. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but I was very, very surprised to find out that the Olympiads for very young children. I mean, I think that is just a money-making business. How can you have Olympiad for 5-year-old children? How long? How do they start?
From third standard, the exams start from NTSC, NSTSC. These exams are starting from third standard onwards.
Yes. So,
and actually,
yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Actually, ma'am, it is just a phobia which is there for the competitive exams. In fact, I feel that the preparation for competitives is much more fun-loving, is much more creative.
Yes, it is.
It is interesting to logical mind, to the intellectual mind of the young children. We usually underestimate those kids. हमको लगता है कि भाई competitive का तैयारी is very difficult, because for us it was difficult because we were not trained like that. We were not trained to apply our knowledges. We were trained just to memorize and just give it back. But these kids, there are so many different boards now. There are so many different learning apps now. There are so many, like what you are doing, the sheets, the MCQs which are given. So there are so many ways and methods how we can make a fun-loving way of learning the same topic. In fact, if you ask a child to learn the same topic again and again, he will really get bored because उसको आता है वो सब. कितनी बार वो एक चीज पढ़ेगा, एक टॉपिक पढ़ेगा. But if the same thing is done in a objective point of view, it becomes interesting and it is rewarding. You know, gratification. They get the gratification, instant gratification. अरे मैंने ये solve कर लिया, ये marks मिल गए, and ये हमको card मिल गया, and it's so gratifying.
I agree. As a matter of fact, my website, Starchild, believes in that, you know, so we are actually creating interactive worksheets for children, which are a lot of fun, and we have also gamified them. So that, and of course, the questions are very much based on these kind of patterns where children need to think and apply. So it's a lot of fun for them and they thoroughly enjoy doing it, you know, and yes, we give them medals and whatnot, you know, so it helps them a lot, you know.
And the phobia is there in the parent's mind, not in the child's mind. Child will find, in fact, interesting.
Yes. I have seen that always. And I totally agree with you. So what advice would you give the parents, you know? So suppose they want to give, you know, I have people who come to me saying, I want to give Homi Bhabha exam and I want to give, you know, some, so I am a little, how do I put it? What advice would you give such parents? What should they do to help the children and to overcome this kind of a thing?
See, the why is always very important. Why do you want your child to give this? You want to give the child to give this exam, or the child is interested?
Yes, absolutely. I often find that it is the parents who are pushing the children to do this. You know, the children are not even aware of it, but they feel that the children should be prepared for these things right from the, you know, very young age. So what is the right age? I mean,
mutual, like both have to be on the same page. एक इंटरेस्टेड है और दूसरा नहीं है तो गाड़ी आगे नहीं बढ़ेगी. आप कितना पुश करते रहोगे? It should always be like you have to introduce the topic in such a way that it becomes fun loving for the child.
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So the you know, like how you break the news, that is always the most important thing. Like suppose if I may just give you an analogy, like suppose if you're suffering from a disease or something has happened to you, like if the doctor breaks the news in a particular way to you or to your relative, so how this doctor is saying, or if we take the same analogy to when a teacher is introducing a new topic, suppose if a maths teacher is introducing fractions to the students, and while introducing this, sir is saying, okay, see, be very careful. This is very, very important. Students lose the marks. There are so many silly mistakes conducted in this. So even you will be prone to make those silly mistakes. So you have to be very much aware. And you know, with all those baggages, all those fears, all those anxieties,
Correct.
the teacher gives that package of fractions of a new topic to the student. So student will always take it with caution. अरे बाप रे, बहुत difficult है, problem हो जाएगी ये वो. So you know how the news is introduced, how it is given to you. So now how you are introducing that competitive exam का concept to the child, that is important. It should be, you know, let's do it. Come on, मजा आएगा. See, it is so interesting. And then you get these ranks, you get these medals, you get these scholarships. So are you interested? Let's do and see. Like that can be the way of, you know, going about it, and it is interesting also for both. But नहीं, इसलिए नहीं कि भाई हमको अपना स्टेटस बनाना है और उसका बच्चा कर रहा है तो इसलिए हमारा बच्चा भी करना चाहिए, और हमारे बच्चे को हमको आगे आईआईटी कराना है इसलिए होमी भाभा देना जरूरी है. ये सब नहीं होना. The why is very important. Why you want to do this?
I completely agree with you. Involving the child and involving in the right manner. And as I've always, you know, I always advocate that education should be fun for the child. It should be something which is exciting for the child. Only then will the child, you know, participate and be happy to do it. So the state of the child is also so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. The emotions play a Very most important role. In fact, I have been dealing with competitive aspirants for over so many years now, and I have worked with these competitive aspirants in Kota also. I worked 18-19 years. I was practicing in Kota, where over 1 lakh students come over to aspire for their dreams. So I was amidst all these over enthusiastic, over intelligent, over ambitious students who are just looking forward or desperate to get that cracked that exam, NEET or IIT.
Yes.
So what happens is somewhere they will get burnt out, no?
Yes.
The why has to be very clear.
Yes.
They have to understand why they are doing it and then pursue this and then make it it has to be that whether you are interested in that destination or this journey should be enjoyable. And if you come to Kota, you will understand why they are getting so many good results is because the journey is so fun loving. Like everybody is, studying, everybody is talking, discussing, arguing, debating about the problems. Like they are eating, drinking, breathing IIT. It's like that. So they're enjoying it also. Stress hota hai.
Very intellectual environment.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
so it is a very intellectual environment.
Absolutely. And that is the right way to study also. Until and unless you will interact. Like what happens, like if you are just doing the input. Nowadays, what is happening, very important in Mumbai also, what is happening is that the students go to classes, go to tuitions, and they are learning, they are revising everything, but they are not giving the exams, the mock tests, the test schedules which are there in the classes or with the tutors or even the national level exams. So they are just scared of, and they would just go one fine day, abhi एग्जाम्स आने वाली है तो 15 दिन पहले उन्होंने थोड़ा एग्जाम्स देना शुरू किया, मॉक टेस्ट 1 2 3 4 दे दिया एंड हो गया. No, and sometimes people don't even give the 4 exams also. They will directly go to the main exam. In fact, it should be the other way around. Giving tests, appearing for the exams in that same environment has to become part and parcel of studies.
I agree. Practice. Being in that environment makes a huge difference because then you are mentally prepared for it, right?
Absolutely. And what that main ingredient is that mindset only. 80% is the mindset. Every student has gone through the whole portion, na? Yeah. But uske baavajud, there are only few selected who will get par with that. Because it is all about the mindset which is there. The skills, the knowledge, the information everybody has. Everybody has revised, everybody has learned. But what matters actually is that in that 4 hours, what is your mindset? How you have trained your mind to go through this exam. Ultimately, it just boils down to that, and only those people who have, worked on that mindset will succeed. And hence, धक्का भी मारते रहो. Like there are some parents who वो धक्का मारते रहते हैं, पुश करते रहते हैं बच्चे को पढ़. एंड बच्चे भी कई बार ऐसे होते हैं जस्ट उस प्रेशर में आकर के वो लोग पढ़ते रहते हैं. एंड समटाइम्स दे आर लर्निंग सो मच और दे आर सो मच विद द बुक्स दैट वो जो डीक्लटरिंग है वो तो हुआ ही नहीं. वो जो सेल्फ एनालिसिस है, वो इंट्रोस्पेक्शन है, वो अंडरस्टैंडिंग वेयर यू आर गोइंग रॉन्ग, व्हाट आर द मिस्टेक्स दैट यू आर डूइंग, वो करेक्टिव मेजर्स जो लेने हैं हमें, वो तो हुआ ही नहीं. I always the students, like I usually deal with competitive aspirants, so I always make them understand that do mistakes daily, but don't repeat the same mistake again.
Absolutely.
In fact, make a separate book of all the mistakes what you have committed and how to overcome them, so that you don't do this mistake in the final exam. Abhi sab mistakes karo. Even I tell the parents also कि अभी उसका टेस्ट में अगर मार्क्स कम आ रहे हैं, मॉक टेस्ट में मार्क्स कम आ रहे हैं, इट्स ओके. इतनी गलतियां कर रहा है, सिली मिस्टेक्स कर रहा है, इट्स ओके. द चाइल्ड इज लर्निंग बाय डूइंग दिस मिस्टेक्स. ही विल नॉट डू दिस इन द फाइनल एग्जाम्स. अदरवाइज वो पूरी मिस्टेक्स वो सीधा जाके फाइनल्स में ही करेगा ना.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. It is so important, like as you said, we need to overcome those errors and not make them again, because then only is the learning complete,
Yes,
right? Otherwise, the learning is not complete. So that is so
true.
true. Is there anything else you would like to tell our parents before we?
Well, I can go just on and on. But the main important crux, like what the topic was, that how to improve the performance. That was the topic. So I would just want to touch upon that it is okay. We are concerned about the academic scores, right? But it is the overall package. If the overall package, if you have taken care of the holistic overall growth of the child, the marks will automatically come. The marks are just a byproduct of a happy, fun-loving, enjoyable process of learning. And make it that way. Take care of the overall health, the physical health, the mental health, the किस तरह का वो खाना खा रहे हैं, उनकी स्लीप रूटीन्स हैं, उनका जो मतलब आपका एक पूरा का पूरा एक प्लानिंग प्रॉपर होना चाहिए, which includes the me time, play time, hobby time, family time, study time, of course, self study time. पेरेंट्स को ये समझना होगा कि होमवर्क और जर्नल्स कंप्लीट करना, प्रोजेक्ट्स करना इज वन थिंग, एंड सेल्फ स्टडी एंड सेल्फ एनालिसिस आर अदर थिंग्स. सो कीप सेपरेट टाइम फॉर दिस सेल्फ स्टडी which does not include homework part and all those things. So वो बहुत important है. And the mindset, very 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 important, कि बच्चों को we make them feel good about themselves, appreciate them, motivate them, or if not this, just be for them, just be with them. That is so very important, because the children, like now, yesterday only the NEET result has come. Now after slogging so much, 2-3 years तक बच्चों ने सब चीज sacrifice किया, they worked so hard, they studied so hard, but in spite of it, if they are not able to get to that desired marks, so it's okay. Life doesn't end here. There are so many beautiful options, and pandemic के बाद में तो और भी पिटारा खुल गया है. Like there are so many beautiful options for so many, because we have to learn to focus on the uniqueness of the child, on the strengths of the child. उसमें क्या कमी है वो छोड़ दो, वो अपने आप केटर हो जाएगा. जब हमने फोकस किया उसकी स्ट्रेंथ के ऊपर, उसकी यूनिकनेस के ऊपर, उसकी क्रिएटिविटी, उसका जो इंडिविजुअल ट्रेट्स हैं, उसकी पर्सनालिटी है. बिकॉज आने वाले टाइम में, नाउ आई वुड जस्ट वांट टू गिव वन मोर ट्रूथ बॉम्ब हियर, इज दैट इट हैज बीन रिसर्च्ड नाउ with great universities. They have done the research regarding the career options, that most of the students who are studying in the primary section now, more than 80% of the students will be aspiring for career options which no longer exist today. They will be coming up in the coming years. So the conventional of career choosing has gone obsolete now. We have to be ready for the Gen Next. उनके career options क्या क्या हैं from their point of view. उस तरह से सोचना है, न कि मेरे जमाने में जो अच्छा था, या मेरे फ्रेंड का या उसके फ्रेंड का जो अच्छा था. No, we are talking 8 years, 10 years hence, and the technology, the environment, the things are changing so rapidly. The whole scenario is changing so rapidly. So forget about the conventional styles and just be aware of what's going on right now. Become aware. There are so many beautiful options. You don't have to do that hard work. Smart work karna bhi zaruri hai. That is the need of the hour.
Absolutely agree with you. So thank you so much. Thank you for sort of capsuling the whole thing at the end. I think I'm sure parents would like that and understand, what we have spoken of by, understanding the last minute. So thank you very, very much for all your sharing that you have done. I'm sure it will help a lot of people, including me. So thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting. Thanks. And all the best wishes to all the students and parents. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.